Now here's something I hear a lot. I can't be a programmer. I'm right-brained. Hey, it's logic. You can't write logic. So people are either left-brained or right-brained, and the people who are left-brained are more quantitative and analytical and logical. People who are right-brained are more intuitive and creative and free thinkers. So since programming requires logic and analysis, therefore right-brained people don't make good programmers. Right? Makes sense? But let's do a test to find out which you are. So give yourself a point for each one that applies to you here. I can make up a bedtime story. I enjoy listening to music. I can draw simple geometric shapes like a square or circle. I enjoy a good movie. I can imagine the place I live in even when I'm not there. So add those up and come up with a score. So how'd you do? If your score was 4 or more, you are right-brained. Now, if you didn't pass the right-brain test, let's try another one. Give yourself a point for each one that applies to you. I can follow a recipe. I can add 2 plus 2. I can create a to-do list. I can remember when my birthday is. I can write a sentence. I can count from 1 to 10. Count those up, and your score, well, if your score was 4 or more, you're left-brained. So, about that whole left brain, right brain thing. There are split brain studies that have been done that long have debunked the idea that people are either right-brained or left-brained. We use various different hemispheres as needed to perform different tasks. So yes, the left hemisphere does control certain things, logical things, orderly things, and the right brain tends to be more imaginative and creative. But we use both of them to accomplish tasks. So when people talk about being left-brained or right-brained, they're really saying I have a greater comfort level with tasks that are associated with one hemisphere or the other. But that's all it is. It's just a comfort level. Okay, but you do have to be good at math, right? Well, here's the thing. This, by the way, is a math genius who from the age of 2, 4, something like that, was teaching kids about math and started making early contributions. Yeah, this guy's a certified genius. Do you have to be one or close to it? No. Most of the math performed by most programmers is nothing more than basics: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. But maybe you don't believe me on this. So let's take a look at pi. Pi is that weird number. It starts with 3.1415, and then it apparently continues forever without repeating. It's used in a variety of things. If you remember your high school math, calculating the area and circumference of a circle, and then a little more esoteric things like determining how much propellant a spacecraft has, learning what an asteroid is made of. So yeah, it's an important thing. How do you calculate pi? Well, you can use this formula right here, this handy-dandy formula, or you can use this, math.pi. Most languages have built-in numbers like pi and doing things like square roots and exponential powers. Not that you need them that often, but when you do, it turns out not to be terribly difficult to do it. So here's another thing, determining how close one phrase is to another. This is sometimes useful to know, like 2 phrases, how close are they together? So if you were doing something like writing Duolingo, the language learning site, then it would be useful for evaluating how good a translation of a text is. So you could compare it and score it. Now, again, this is something called the Levenshtein distance formula, and you can use this formula, good to know, or you can simply import the work that somebody else has done and then make a call to get to the distance that you need. So to sum up, there really is no scientific validity to the idea that people are either right-brained or left-brained. People are both, and we draw on both hemispheres as we need them. Next thing is you don't have to be great at math to be a programmer. What you do need is the ability to think clearly. And it turns out that can be taught, but that's a subject for another one. We'll see you later.